I chose to put the subject of psychology and religion in the Buddhism section because I can't think of a religion more psychologically focused than Buddhism. The very word means to be awake, and the Buddha, in my opinion, was the world's first relatively scientific, empirically based psychologist. That's really why he's famous. And so the early Buddhists developed stages of development for the relatively immature on up to the more wise and compassionate practitioners. But what we see here in our readings is an example of two very different ways to view religion psychologically. Sigmund Freud, of course, he's the famous psychologist. It was his opinion that religion is powered by an infantile delusion, a drive to have an idealized father when one's own father may have been deficient. Inside every person is a subconscious tumult. Religion gives that shape for the weak-minded, in his opinion. We are driven by subconscious, powerful drives for pleasure, power, and these he calls the id. The superego, on the other hand, is given to us structurally by our environment, our culture. And so we know not to murder the neighbor's dog because of the superego, the conscience within all of us, shaped by society. And the battle between the id and superego is the ego. That's the James Powell you get. And that's what you have when you combine the Dr. Jekyll with the Mr. Hyde in all of us. So for Freud, he thought some people really need religion. He thought Friedrich Nietzsche was an excellent case in point of someone who gave up on God too soon. But he did feel it was, as he put it, the future of an illusion. And this view of religion is caught on for so many it's hard to combat it for a guy like me. But there is an alternative view. Erik Erikson, following Freud's basic awareness, just as, well, Max Weber followed Marx to some degree. They see the negative side for sure. But there is a baby in the bathwater of religion, economically, and in this case, psychologically. So Erik Erikson focused extensive studies on Martin Luther and Mahatma Gandhi and developed an idea of psychology as a progression through stages of life events. Key moments of basic trust are important for an individual to psychologically mature and not stagnate or regress to immature states of consciousness. And so by studying Gandhi and Martin Luther, Erik Erikson realized that the religious giants, not the weak ones, the giants, actually shape whole cultures because, psychologically speaking, they're mature enough and have a deep enough sense of trust in the world that they can overcome the cultural conditioning they receive in their life, in society, growing up. And so the giants like this, Martin Luther, the Buddha himself is such a giant. This is then the baby in the religion's bathwater. We all know too many people who are not exactly mature or wise or compassionate or open-minded about their religion. So we've got to give Freud his due. But Erikson's quite right to see all these stages of development in an individual life, that we can progress psychologically and that we can do so through religion. And in this much he agrees with one of my favorites, Carl Jung, who also saw in the Buddhist teaching profound riches to be mined. As one focuses, as Jung agreed with Buddha, on this consciousness as real. It's not just a fake.